What up, people? It's your boy, the Badwolf. Y'all ready to take a look at some new information and see what's going on? All right, let's see what the goings-ons is. All right, so once again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing. The numbers look great. Still yet, ladies, you guys are not joining. You're not subscribing. The guys are killing it out there, so get your game up. All right, that being said, what else do we have? Well, we've got a video on Sherrif Richard Mack, okay? A guy who's in law enforcement, might be retired at this point in time, but who knows what's going on. See, sheriffs are actually working for the government, which is the ultimate law of the land. Yes, there are some good ones out there, and there's some bad ones out there. Unfortunately, I do know a couple of on either side, we'll just say. However, I mean, so being it's said for all fraternities, all organizations, wherever there's people, there's bound to be that. So it's nothing new. But this guy knows, so he's the founder of CSPOA, okay? And he says that sheriffs, not the courts, are arbiters of which laws are constitutional. So your sheriffs out there, those of you who do watch the show, are the true law. Nothing against police officers by any means. I've got friends and family who are police officers, so it's nothing new. But what it is that the police officers are operating in a corporate setting under legal statutes, rules, regulations, not under constitutional law. They're operating under state law, which is a private organization. A corporation, no different than Pepsi or Coke or Nike or whatever else. Okay? So let's hear a little bit about what he has to say. And once again, this is courtesy of Richard Mack, so I want to thank him in advance for allowing me to present the information. This is all considered fair use, so let's take a look.
But in 2010, I formed a national group called the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association.
Okay, let's get you guys a little closer.
POA.org, and we're all dedicated to preventing all injustice. And I believe that the best way to do that is to have sheriffs and peace officers in this country who are trained in the oath of office. Why do we take that oath of office and then never find out what it was about? I don't believe law enforcement can afford to do that anymore. We have to know that we are the guards of the republic. We are the protectors of
Do you hear him?
liberty.
The sheriffs, are the guardians of the Constitution,
For the citizens against tyranny.
foreign or domestic.
It is a peaceful and effective process.
Peaceful and effective.
For instance, if anyone from government is abusing a citizen,
Anyone,
it would be our duty.
whether actual government or local police, law enforcement agencies, LEOs, legal enforcement officers, really.
We are dedicated to the Constitution and to the principles upon which this country was founded.
The superior law.
We will not let anybody's rights be violated by anyone.
Now this
Who decides?
is an officer of the law.
So when
Everybody goes, oh, I've even had one, well, more than one. So just so people know, I've done these processes for officers, okay? Many officers all over the United States have contacted me
check with my supervisor.
and asked me about changing their status and what this really is. And I've sat down and had them in seminars and given them this information. Most of them literally do not know what's going on. But as I've told them before, I challenge you before sending me an email and bothering me on some beep, beep, beep. Go talk to your commanding officer first. Go talk to the chief of police first. Tell them, can I speak to you privately? And ask them, is there a difference between the state's constitution and the Constitution of the United States of America in the geographical sense?
Constitution.
Okay?
I must know and understand that before that happens. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Martin Luther King said that we all have a moral responsibility, a moral duty to disobey unjust laws.
Unjust laws. Now, here's what you have to understand. The Constitution for each state are just
Enforce.
legislative laws, okay? Rules to operate by. They are just.
Arrested by
If you are a resident of said state, if you are an employee of said state, if you choose to, if you know what it is that you have agreed to, contracted to, signed up for. Okay? So a lot of people get it misunderstood. They think that, because I'm under the Constitution, that I'm above the law. No, you're not. Okay? As a state citizen or a national of the United States, you're operating under the Constitution and the Supreme Court's rulings on said things. Doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Okay? But what it means is that your rights will not be infringed upon by lower courts and the states, which all gave up a percentage of their power to be underneath the Union. The Constitution, they agreed to become part of the 50 states.
Marching alongside literal Nazis, white supremacists, white nationalists of the worst vile kind.
We were just making nice with BLM too, so
Yeah, I'm just saying, as an organization,
everybody has a right to be there.
And if you don't know what's really going on with BLM, you need to do your own research so you can find out who's really profiting from it, who's really in control of it, and what the ultimate agenda is of it. That's all I will say.
Some of the militias, the 3%ers, but not oath keepers. And I mean, I had an oath keeper when I interviewed in Ferguson.
Okay, they kind of trail on here, so I'm going to jump to another thing with him.
They were keeping a sniper position on the protesters, and we're ready.
Ready to start eating healthier? Meet Kachava. Kachava is the world's healthiest almond.
Skip ads. Sorry about that.
Welcome to the County Seat. I'm your host, Chad Booth. Today we are going to talk about one of the most traditional offices in county government, the county sheriff. You know, the office, or at least the functions of county sheriff, date clear back to the 9th
So this is constitutional sheriffs in Utah.
had an official who was elected by the people to represent the serf's interest to the king. And that's the origin of the sheriff, and traditionally that office has stayed with us ever since. Now, the contemporary sheriff, in addition to providing law enforcement and public safety, sheriffs are also required to maintain and operate jails.
Credit for this goes out to, for this particular small segment, the County Seat Underground. Looks like they got about 1,300 subscribers, so I definitely recommend you guys go and subscribe to them.
What is the authority in Utah for sheriff?
I do like how they've got the corporate U.S. flag back there and not the traditional real one, but we'll leave that alone for now.
Constitution of the state. There's language in that Constitution that sets forth the duties and the authorities of the sheriff. In the state of Utah, it's statutory. The office of sheriff is not defined in the Utah Constitution. So it takes its authority from the legislature, who puts that into statute. And that's found in Utah under the Utah Code Annotated, Title 17, Chapter 22. And then it has 32 different paragraphs or statutes that are listed in there that give the authority of the sheriff.
Out of the 50 states, 48 have sheriffs. Alaska has no counties, and Connecticut abolished counties a few years ago. So the office of sheriff varies nationwide. Now, there are 13 that are constitutionally defined. Here's some trivia for you, okay? In Kentucky and Louisiana, the sheriffs serve as the tax collector as well as the sheriff. So he comes to collect the rent, so to speak. Hawaii 5-0. We've all heard the famous 5-0. Well, McGarrett is a sheriff. It is a statewide sheriff's office. And in Indiana,
So it's not all the same. There's different jurisdictions going on.
sheriff's salary. Are there any other stories you can think of?
Yes, for Louisiana, for instance, there are 2 sheriffs in every county, or parish. They call it parishes there. There's a law enforcement sheriff who strictly does the law enforcement authority and duties, and the other sheriff is the corrections sheriff. He runs strictly the courts and the jail.
So I guess that makes a point that when you have something statutorily defined, there can be 50 different definitions of local law enforcement, which is where we're going to pick up our conversation when we come back on the County Seat.
All right, so that's all for that particular segment. So yeah, Richard Mack is his name. Let's see. Right here, a duty to defend, restoring constitutionality, limited governance with Sheriff Richard Mack. Okay, so you guys think it's just me out here spreading this information? No, these are legitimate people who are in law enforcement that know what's going on. Okay, so not a terribly long video, guys. Looks like he's got a following here. So Sheriff Mack, 2.4K. I'm gonna hit the subscribe. So that just happened. I like people who stand up with the Constitution for our rights and freedoms. So I was gonna end it, but let's just do some exploring so you guys can see what I do. Once again, down here, this goes with Sheriff Eddie Craig on Right to Travel. I already did a video on that one. Okay. And so let's go to Mack's channel. All right. Looks like he's been on for a long time, but hasn't probably promoted his info. And he subscribes to some place called Cop Block. Okay, well, we'll subscribe there. Take a look at his playlist later. Or that, let's see, videos. Ha! This clown. All right, so his CSPOA stands for Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. Okay. So he's got a couple of clips. Looks like his last stuff was about 2 years ago. This one was 3 months ago. So it looks like he's still pretty active. Doesn't provide any information on how to get in touch with him. But if I find a way or he sees the video, you're more than welcome to jump on and we can talk about some stuff. That'd be awesome. So let's see here. Nothing there. A couple videos. Home. All right, so he's got some products on, it looks like global healing products, voter fraud, the health rally, some food. So it looks like he's kind of diverse and trying, kind of like similar to my channel. Got a lot of stuff out there to help everybody do better. So that's about it, guys. All right. So I would highly suggest checking out Sheriff Mack. He is on YouTube. Help support him. Help support the cause. He is out there fighting for your rights and freedoms. He knows what's going on. So this is definitely somebody that the Badwolf, though rarely, would give a double thumbs up and my approval to follow him. I think he's doing something right here. So there are a number of people out there who are woke, if you will, and who are a part of the enforcement or in retired. And like I said, even within the last year, I've done probably like, I don't know, 8 or 9 cops and got them to review the information on a just simply neutral balance. One police officer was from NYPD. I won't give out any information. That's all confidential. But he had said, yeah, I've been watching for a while. He's like, I've been looking at the information and you're right. You know, like I said, so it's not even just me. I didn't get into this just to like, oh, look at me, I'm right. I've just been living this way. I'm just showing the doorway for those people who want to use it. But for the people who are happy where they're at, under their contracts and agreements, with their rules, regulations, statutes, not to say that there isn't any under the Constitution, okay? But underneath those corporations, which there's nothing wrong with that as long as you know what's going on. It's when you don't know what's going on, or even worse yet, when you find out what's going on and they prevent you, then that's fraud and that's deprivation of rights. 241, 242, 1983. All right. So that's it. Talk to you guys later. Got more videos to make. Enjoy the holidays and stay wise, stay woke, stay aware, stay warm. And the Badwolf will be back with more fire info. Peace.